Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to look at another power and conflict poem for the AQA GCSE literature. I've got my book here. We're going to look at John Agard's Checking Out My History. So let's get started. We're going to look at 5 quotes today, the 5 quotes that you should learn the night before the exam. So, checking out my history. Dem tell me, what dem want to tell me. That's the first quote. It's the whole of the first stanza and it is in this Guyanese Creole. So dem is referred to, referring to the people that are teaching him history. And immediately it distances him from those people that are telling him the history. And it's very powerful here. The repetition of dem tell me is very powerful, and it immediately creates this sense of I am being told what my story is. The fact that Agard starts this poem with some Creole aspects is very powerful too, because it means that he has adopted his voice, his own voice, and he is injecting his own identity there. The last line of that stanza, dem tell me what dem want to tell me, what they want to tell me, is very accusatory. It is what they want to tell me, what their story is about me and what their story is about history, not from my viewpoint. And it's what they want to tell me in order to control me or to keep me from expressing my own identity and learning my own history. So a very powerful start, and you should definitely learn the whole of that first stanza. The next quote is the next couple of lines from the second stanza, and I want to concentrate here on just 2 words: bandage and blind. These invoke imagery of eyesight. Bandage up me eye, blind me. This is what the history that the children have been taught has done to them. It has prevented them from seeing. It has blinded them. It has prevented them from seeing their own identity and their own history, and therefore making their own story. So again, very strong with this alliteration on these strong syllables, bandage and blind, at the beginnings of lines. Here, exactly telling the story straight away as how it has been done. Bandage and blind are very powerful verbs that remove sight from people. And that is what has been done here. And Agard really gets straight to the point in this poem. Okay, our third quote today is but dem never tell me. And this is peppered throughout the poem. Count up how many buts in the poem. But dem never tell me, but dem never tell me. And this strong word, it alliterates again with bandage and blind, but. All the things they're told, but then a list of things that are missing. The things that are missing is the history about Nanny de Maroon, about Toussaint Louverture, about Shaka the Great Zulu, about Mary Seacole. So all these things are missing, and they are punctuated but dem never tell me, but. So this is almost a refrain in the poem that pops up a lot and gives the narrative of the history that Agard wants to present. These strong, powerful leaders who have been edited out of European history, but are part of his identity, and he feels very strongly should be part of the historical curriculum. Okay, so that's our third quote, but dem tell me, combined with lots of but. Fourth quote today then, and even when the British said no, she still braved the Russian snow. And I think this is a good one to take from the examples that he gives of powerful leaders. He talks here about Mary Seacole, and he sums up the opposition. The British said no, they didn't want her to be part of it, but she still braved the Russian snow. So she tramples over the British no. She is brave and she stands up to them. And the fact that line 45 and 44 there are that rhyming couplet really makes her stand out. The rhyme of snow and no makes her strong. It reinforces that no and says, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not taking this anymore. I'm not having you tell my story. I am taking my own story and I'm going to make history. And of course she did. She was a healing star among the wounded. So really important in terms of form there. And you'll notice that Agard uses italics for these moments of describing the powerful moments of these leaders. Okay, my last quote today for this poem, Checking Out My History, is in the very last stanza, the last two lines. But now I checking out my own history, I carving out my identity. And that verb carving, I think, is a really good one to remember. Even if you don't know the whole quote, just think about carving an identity. And that is exactly what Agard has done throughout this poem by presenting us those characters and their deeds in the italics, juxtaposing them with the dull history about the cat jumping over the moon and Dick Whittington and Napoleon and all those European people. And here we have really strong identity forming. Back to the title of the poem, Checking Out My History, I'm doing it for myself. Notice the but now, so he becomes one of the characters, one of the powerful characters. He's included in the but, the people that said no to the British. I carving out my own identity. And of course here, this is a reference to Agard doing it with his words. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that your revision goes well. Please like and subscribe to get more of these 5-quote videos on poems.